What's up? Welcome to What It's Like to Ride, where I break down motocross tracks across the country to show you whether or not they're worth checking out. On this episode, I'm breaking down Fox Raceway, located in Paula, California. Let's get to it.
Roses, I'm a pull up flexing on these bitches like a Romies. I'm a tell you, girl, you cute, but probably that she gorgeous.
Alright, Fox Raceway is one of the most popular tracks in Southern California, probably because it's on the circuit right now. All the pros ride there. It's a pretty fun track. I had a great time when I rode it. I like it a lot. First thing to note, the dirt there is pretty good. It's kind of sandy on the front end where it's a little flatter, and towards the back it's pretty hard pack and marbly. This track is pretty flat. There's pretty much only one hill in the back, so it's all man-made obstacles, but they do a really good job. They have lots of big hills. They move lots of dirt around to create a little bit of elevation, so it's got big jumps. Along with the sandy section of the front, they do get rutted up a decent amount depending on the day you go. It's a little bit drier day, it's not so much. Maybe after a rain it gets pretty good ruts, or if you're on a weekday when the pros go and ride, it'll get rutted up a little bit more because it'll tilt a little deeper. With that, the track maintenance is really good on this track. Every time you go, it's like a brand new track. They smooth out the lips and groom the track every time I've been there, so probably on a daily basis. So it's perfect conditions, and it is a little bit of a softer base, a little sandier, so on some days you'll get ruts going up the lips and kind of messing up the jumps, so it's really good job that they do this, or else the track would be super treacherous after a couple weeks in a row. So the main track is pretty difficult. It's got big jumps, a little technical. If you're not the best rider and you still want to go check it out, I highly recommend checking out their vet track. They have a really good vet track there. It's honestly better than most of the pro tracks at a lot of spots. I see more people show up for the vet track than the pro track whenever I go there, and I think they have probably one of the best vet tracks I've seen. Another thing is, if you guys want me to make videos on some of the vet tracks at these places, let me know, especially in Southern California. There's a lot of vet tracks around, a lot of them are really good. This track mostly breaks down in kind of a two-line format. There's usually a main line on the inside and a main line on the outside. It's fairly one line through most of it as far as the main line goes. Sometimes you can get creative and find other lines, but a lot of times it's kind of hard to pass unless you have a big speed difference between the person you're trying to get around. One thing to know when you do come to Paula and you're riding the pro track, be careful. There are a lot of fast guys that come here and some pros. I've been on the track with people like Ryan Dungey, Max Volan, Carson Brown. A lot of these pros show up mostly on weekdays, but sometimes they'll pop in on a weekend here and there and ride around with regular people. So just be careful. You don't want to be that guy that cross jumps and takes out one of the pro riders and messes up their season. That's how they make money, and that's just a dick move. One thing to note is there's always a lot of little kids on this track. For some reason, all 50 dads think that their kid's good enough to ride this track, and some of them are pretty good, but there's a lot of 50 and 65 riders that just shouldn't be on a track this big, and they'll get in the way, and you just try to really be careful of them. A lot of them don't know how to hold their line or jump, and I've come across this pretty much every weekend. That being said, there are a lot of fast guys that do show up. I mean, I've gone past by a couple 85 riders like Vincent Way and guys like that, so kind of hit or miss. But if your kid's not doing at least 9% of the jumps, please keep them off this track. It's a big track. It's definitely for a pro, intermediate, advanced rider. I would not recommend this track for a beginner whatsoever. I would not really recommend it for a novice rider either. Maybe if you show up, ride the vet track, you want to do a lap on the big track just to see what it's like, sure, do that. Make sure to hold your line and try and pick a time when there's not too many fast guys on there, and then go enjoy the rest of the day on the vet track. Like I said before, Paula has one of the best vet tracks, and they groom and maintain this track super well. If you want me to do a video on the vet track, I will. Just let me know. Anyway, this is a great location. They have a Fox shop on site, so you can go in if you forget like a pair of gloves or a helmet or whatever. You can go in, buy gear. All of the brand new Fox stuff will be there. It's a great facility. They have a supercross track on site, so if you get there on a bright day, maybe you can see some pros practicing. If you go kind of outside the season or in the winter time, they usually don't have the full track laid out. They'll probably do like half to 3/4 of the track, and it's still fun. You still get that front section, that's a lot of fun. You kind of miss out on the back section, which has questionable dirt anyway, but there's still some fun sections back there. So if you're really going to check out the full track, I always recommend I go a couple weeks after the pros. That's where you get the track exactly how they raced it, maybe a little tamed down, but you're getting most of the track as you would have seen on TV. They do change this track quite a bit, which I really like. It keeps things interesting. You don't get bored of it. You could go to this track probably twice a year, and each time it'd be a completely different layout, or at least a mostly different layout with different sections, different jumps. Sometimes they change the direction. So this is one of those tracks where you won't get bored of. It's super fun to check out. If you were an intermediate, advanced, or pro rider, I definitely recommend checking out this track if you're making a trip to Southern California. It's super fun. If you get on the right day where the weather's good, dirt's awesome. If you like big jumps, this is the place. They got lots of jumps. It's almost supercrossy in a way where a lot of these jumps are pretty big and pretty steep. Anyways, I think this is one of the best tracks in Southern California, and I highly recommend it. But enough talking about it. Here's a lap at Fox Raceway. As always, thank you for watching What It's Like to Ride. If this video helped you out, please leave a like. If you have suggestions for other tracks you'd like me to check out, please leave a comment down below and I'll try and get to it. Thank you.